I couldn't believe this, but did you know that they are already paving over the grass where Charlie Kirk's tent was set up at UVU only 6 days ago when he was shot dead? I mean, this is. I thought they needed, a bit more time for all the evidence and all the stuff. And by the way, my biggest question that I've been asking for some time, I've been making the thumbnail for this video, just gonna show you, is where is the bullet? Where's the bullet fragment, the projectile, whatever you want to call it? Where is it? There's so many discussions that we've had. I've had made so many videos, so many theories, so many stuff going on. Where is the bullet, or the bullet fragment, the projectile that killed Charlie Kirk? We're expecting that they're gonna take like 4 to 5 weeks to finish all tests, I guess. But they should have already that. They should know where the bullet was. And the issue that I have, the thing that is absolutely that, I know, I can understand why so many people have so many wild theories about shooters from all sides. I can understand that. I can understand, because so murky and so many strange things happening, let alone the video that I made about those guys just dismounting the camera that was right behind Charlie Kirk and removing, as allegedly, the memory card from the camera, and we hope that handed it to authorities, to the FBI. And the problem is that I want to say it again. I want to be very clear that I don't trust the FBI. Even if they found the DNA in the rifle's trigger, I don't. We have no way of being sure. Maybe with the body language analysis that I did of Tyler Robinson, we have no way of really putting Tyler Robinson in there. Besides, what they are saying, or besides what Tyler Robinson himself is saying, and we don't know if he's just a stand-in, a patsy for somebody else. And as far as we have seen with the text messages, it's obvious that his boyfriend knew, and way more than 20 people knew what was going to happen. So, yes, if you want to call this as a conspiracy, I wouldn't blame you. Because the first part of all this is how the scene of the crime has been tampered with. I mean, I hope that they, took a look at all the blood that must have been on the grass. Yeah, of course. It is counting that these guys began dismounting the cameras 5 minutes after the shot. 5 minutes. It's something like, I still cannot believe it. I have gone through that. At some point, I thought that I had some kind of wrong recording or wrong video about this. Maybe the video was edited, but no, I followed the guy who was doing a live stream that day, and it was effectively 5 minutes from the shot to dismounting the camera. I still have trouble believing this. How wasn't this immediately isolated, putting a cordon around this, setting a perimeter? Because this was a literal crime. It was more than obvious. They needed to know what had happened, and they needed to know everything. And authorities needed to take a look at this. And now they are literally removing the grass, putting all, completely paving over this with and they also thoroughly clean everything, removing any sort of evidence that I really hope that the FBI at Salt Lake City knew what they were doing. But I also made a video that you remember. It was this video about there's an actual, or was an actual. We hope that it was, not is, was an actual conspiracy inside the FBI targeting conservative figures. I'm gonna add it right now here in real time. I made this video. I don't know if you have watched it, in which this Operation Arctic Frost that was first exposed in January of this year, and now it's not only, it was not only for, elections and that stuff. No, it was a bit more handsome stuff. And we want to know if what Kash Patel has done to the FBI. I really want to believe that Kash Patel is one of the good guys. And I'm almost sure that he is. Of course, I cannot be 100% certain, but I want to think that he is one of the good guys. But there's so much stuff going in there that we don't know. And you remember that when they were with this, when Pam Bondi began with the Epstein files, I've got the files on my desk. What happened with the FBI bureau, FBI of New York City? You remember that? There was this kind of a rogue group of agents who were just saying, oh, you know what, the files do not exist, so we are not going to give it to you. We're going to have some fun with the files, maybe destroy some files, maybe modify some files. What stops that kind of activities from happening also in Utah in a way more covert way? I have zero evidence of this, but we do have evidence of what happened in New York City with those files, because Pam Bondi said that herself, and that is not hearsay, that is not rumors, that is not gossip, that is not a representative, that is not a friend. Of Pam Bondi herself said that. So is Kash Patel really aware of what is going on at the FBI? Was this part of those operations? Was Charlie Kirk actually targeted? Because two things can be true at the same time. Could this guy, Tyler Robinson, could have been groomed by a transgender cell, but what is the guarantee that the transgender cell was not also infiltrated by third parties? That can be anything. I mean, the possibilities are endless when you go into the online realm. Now, right now, we have some hope because one user in Discord just hacked the platform, and they leaked like 2 billion messages, voice messages, all sorts of things on Discord. So maybe there's going to be something in there. And also Congress is about to grill all the owners of these platforms, of Steam, where you play the games, Discord, where you talk about the games, also Reddit, and I'm missing one as well. It's just 4 of them. And but I think that this is going, you feel, I know that you feel like this is going too slow. And I can understand. We want to know. We want to have more answers, or the answers. I think the American public needs to know the answers to this. You know why? Because it's the desire to feel at least safe, knowing that if this happens, we're going to have a proper explanation of how did this happen, and how can this be prevented in the future, and how can we prevent our sons and daughters from, becoming brainwashed, because that is the most important thing. Yeah, nobody in their sane mind wants to take guns away. The Second Amendment is there for a reason, but it's the people holding those guns, the people being bombarded. This children being bombarded since elementary school with all this gender stuff. And then if you feel strange in your body, maybe you're in a not in the gender, this gender assigned at birth, and all that is mental illness that you are injecting like a parasite in children, and that is eventually exploding this way. And of course there are people responsible of this, and of course there are people that must pay for this. But so we have a complete cover-up. So again, so many of you have followed my videos. So many of you have noticed that, yeah, I can get really triggered sometimes. I something, if I hate something, if I could say that I hate something, is to lose the track of, the pieces of the puzzle, of not being able to solve a puzzle. That's something that just bitters me to a way that you cannot comprehend. In this case, it's like the more that the investigation advances, is like we have more loose ends, and it's maddening. And I don't know if you feel the same about this, but I don't know. I want answers, more concrete answers. I hope that we get those answers. But again, I would love to know what do you think about this in the comments. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the Battle Language Guy. Much love and bliss.